Hi, my name is Hai Lyman, and I would like to discuss the conflict in Colombia and the continued risk of rising violence targeting civilians. Back in 2016, Colombia signed a peace agreement between the government and the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, FARC. This ended a 50-year issue that Colombia was facing against its people and government. In 2021, we celebrated the 5-year anniversary of this treaty. However, this didn't mean the violence and conflict has stopped. In fact, there has been a spike during the pandemic. Colombia still has a long way to go before their people can be at peace. According to the U.S. Department of State, Colombia is making moves in the right direction. On their election ballots, many victims of the conflicts are available to vote for. This gets them involved with legal proceedings and allows for a voice in Colombian democracy. They are also optimistic that this peace accord will continue to bring the nations and the people together in a positive and safe way. Unfortunately, though, Colombia has still not fully implemented the treaty, and this is costing them lives. In 2021, there was a 70% increase in political violence, and this year, as the election got closer, that number only grew. Social leaders and organized groups have been specifically targeting people in the departments of Cauca, Norte de Santander, Valle de Cauca, and Antioquia. These areas are easy and open to attacks because of their large populations of indigenous people. Minorities are facing extreme discrimination from all political parties. These individuals are also statistically more susceptible to drugs and sex trafficking, making them targets to all sorts of unfortunate scenarios. The FARC has not stopped there. They have actively targeted the president in numerous occasions. They aren't the only anti-government groups in Colombia, though. Nationwide demonstrations and discontent occurred when changes to tax reforms regarding health, education, and social issues. The government handled this swiftly with brute force. These peaceful protests turned into the deadliest in the world because of anti-riot groups and the violence they used. Newly elected this year, President Gustavo Petro now has all eyes on him. He's expected to turn this violent state around and spark some change. Some believe that this is a historic moment and symbolizes a positive change and impact, while others are scared that hiring a leftist president will bring more guerrilla ideas. He has said that he hopes to expand the agreement and actually implement it. His predecessor didn't like the accords, so he pushed them off. But the safety of his people is something that he will prioritize. A possible solution for the civilian deaths would be to put more protections in place in communities, and to also rework the military. Protecting the civilians should be the priority of the local government. They are so focused on who is president and supporting their own cause that they aren't realizing that they're losing the people who make that choice. Kill two birds with one stone. Protect the citizens from the political violence, and they will vote in the direction of the leader who protected them. It would need to be a team effort across Colombia, which can be a real challenge. But they have the means, they just need the motivation to make it happen. Overall, the conflict in Colombia is difficult to solve. It is affecting the people every day and leaving thousands dead. Political drama have left people of different ethnicities barren and fearing for their lives. It all comes down to who's on whose side and establishing a real peace treaty, not just in name. The U.S. should not be commemorating 5 years if no progress has even been made. I use the following websites as my resources: the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Project, the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, the U.S. Department of State, and the International Crisis Group. Thank you.